this super fun video. Not only is it fall themed, but we are using some brand new items to make some really cool DIYs that you're gonna love on a budget. Please leave me a big thumbs up and let's get into it. The first item is this tray. Now this is in the Dollar Tree Plus section for $5, but it is a great deal because this is a huge tray. I love the orange pumpkin one as is, but I picked up this tan version that I didn't love so much, especially like that beige wood in the background. So I wanted to cover it with some of Dollar Tree's new sunflower fabric. I thought this was absolutely gorgeous. I knew I needed a blank slate, so I go ahead and paint this white. I accidentally add way too much paint, so I have to dip some out. But get this coated completely white and then I'll be Mod Podging on the fabric. I love the soft colors in this fabric. I feel like it is so beautiful. They had lots of different fabrics to pick from, and also like Halloween stuff was coming out, so you can grab whichever you want to do. I thought the sunflowers would work also in the summertime. I know it won't like go on into winter, Christmas time, but it's something that I can use a little bit longer, like late summer into fall, especially next year. And go ahead and put this down, and then I'm just using a scrap piece of popsicle stick to really push this into the corners because I want this to have nice crisp corners so that I can take my X-Acto knife after it dries and cut away the excess. Now I don't even let this completely dry. I just put the fabric down and go ahead with another coat of Mod Podge and go over the top of it and then let that completely dry before cutting away the excess fabric. This is such an easy way to get a custom look to fit any style or any space that you need to fill up with a certain look that you're going for, but cutting away the extra with a knife, be super careful because it can be a little bit tough, and then using a pair of scissors for the places that I couldn't get the corners like off of there. But I feel like you get such crisp lines this way and you're not having to keep measuring and getting it the exact same size. But loved how this turned out, pairing it with a little pumpkin and some wooded beads. If you need to grab anything from Dollar Tree, make sure it's these huge pumpkins. I feel like they are such good pieces. They are hefty made. They stand up alone and they actually have like weight to them, so they're super nice. I love them as is, but I feel like they don't really go together as a set of three, so I wanted to make them over to look more crafty. One of my favorite things to do in the fall time is walking all of the craft shows in like my small town. We have lots of craft fairs and everyone's making things, and I feel like this is something that you would have seen for sale for like 20 or 30 bucks, even though you can make it for under $5, but I wanted to make these over. Now they do have paper on them, so I just sanded away the excess, anything that was hanging over the edge. If you wanted to take the time, I like to soak a damp paper towel and set it on top. It gets the sticker paper like wet and then you can peel it all away, but I didn't even worry about doing all of that. I just painted over it, just making sure there's no overhang over the edges. And then I just wanted these to kind of be whimsical, kind of be fun. I went with a orange one for the center and then two like off-white pumpkins, and then just kind of playing around with them. I had some little polka dots and then it paint some little stripes in the middle. I did mess up, but I go ahead and touch that up with some more paint. Painter's tape works really well to get these like crisp lines, but I did a couple of like stacks of the painter's tape and then I let that completely dry, and then going back in and making a fine little like pinstripe line. I feel like it just gives it a little bit of extra detail rather than just leaving it the wide stripes. Now I'm going to replace the little words back on there. I actually took a harvest off of a different pumpkin, so now they don't say three different things. They say harvest, grateful harvest, and I kind of feel like it sounded like the home sweet home thing, so it doesn't really bother me that two of these match perfect. But then glued back the original leaves on there, and this makes such a fun set, really cute. And like I mentioned, I feel like it looks like it came from like a craft show, like someone spent a lot of time on these. Dollar Tree has tons of these metal gnomes. Now, usually gnomes aren't my favorite, but these are so adorable and well done that I just love them so much. I picked up 2 of these leaves on a stand. They're just metal leaves, and I'm going to use them as the stand. So we're going to be covering up the leaves. For these though, I wanted them to match and go more with like a fall theme, so I do paint the bases with a truffle brown chalk paint just to get it nice and covered. And then I'm removing the hangers from the gnomes. I'm filling that in with some hot glue and then just kind of adding a little bit of paint to camouflage those holes. So whenever I paint over them, it doesn't look like they're just at the top, but I go ahead and just add some little polka dots on one of them and then dry brushing on the other. Always be super safe whenever you are working with metal. Even hot gluing this together, like it heats up so much, it's definitely too hot to hold, so I just tried to hold the places that didn't have the glue on there and attach it to the leaf. But this just is going to elevate them. I don't honestly have enough wall space to hang up all of these Dollar Tree pieces, so I love attaching them to stands and getting them to stand up on tables and shelves and different areas. But I thought these turned out so cute. Even stacking them up at different levels, I feel like makes them even better. Another way to use this little gnome is to hang it on a hanging sign. Kind of the same thing here, just removing the top little metal hanger. I fill in the little holes, glue this down in place, and then adding a ribbon, and this is just as adorable. This gnome actually was my favorite, the one holding the little sunflower with the orange cap, and tied a little bow at the top. This literally takes 3 minutes or less, but I feel like it is really cute, and you can just like keep fitting the style that you like. So if you collect gnomes, you can keep putting gnomes on little signs that you can hang up, or Dollar Tree has different little metal pieces out right now. I love the little scarecrow faces, but I feel like this turned out really cute and very simple to do. So these pieces are absolutely gorgeous as is, and I definitely kept them the same. I kept like an original one, but I bought a couple extra to make over, so it's so much easier than having to glue popsicle sticks to the top and the bottom of a board and painting them and gluing them on. I know I've done that a million times on my channel, so these already put together little scroll signs are perfect to make over. All I'm doing is going in with some sandstone color chalk paint. I go ahead and paint the backing and then dry brush over that with some brown, making sure that I'm just covering this very nicely. I didn't even worry about taping off the top and the bottom, just getting as close as I can. These wooden bead pumpkins are a repeat from last year, but they're one of my absolute favorites, so I had to display on its own sign. This is an awesome DIY that you could use any backing for. I'm actually using one of the new Dollar Tree calendars. They have out a lot of their 2024 calendars right now with so many different images that you can use from the calendar pages. Now this is 3 different pieces. I'm using a blank flat circle, wooden circle from Dollar Tree, as well as a wooden bead round, and then they have these like circular frames, or I've been using them as frames. I think they're wreath rings, but they work so great. They fit a lot of the Dollar Tree circles and act as a frame that you can easily glue on. So the first thing I had to do was find the image I wanted to use. I ended up using this Count Your Blessings. I thought about the orange wreath, but it was just really busy to use with the wooden beads, and I love going for that green fall like neutral theme. I go ahead and put everything together, and then I have to paint like around the edges of the wooden round because they are going to show through, because this is a square calendar. Now I do mess up on this craft because I try to glue down the calendar just as it was, and you could see all of the dates in the backing. So like the numbers of the calendar were showing through. I feel like the calendars used to not do that so bad, but the last couple of years they have, so I don't know if they've printed them darker or what, but I go ahead and paint around the edges with white, and you could see that through. So the hack here is to take some dark gray or black paint and paint it under the calendar, and then none of those lines will be able to show up. So I go ahead and take that off, paint that gray, let that dry, do another coat of Mod Podge, and then I'm able to attach my calendar page. And then I just glue everything down in place. I dry brush lightly over it with a little bit of white paint. You can add a hanger if you want to. I'll probably just set this up on like a plate stand, but I feel like this looks really cute and high end with the little beads. Thank you guys for checking out today's video, especially using brand new items. It's one of my favorite videos to put together. Please leave me a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and stick around for more content because I'm going to have a lot more fall DIYs coming your way.